What up, Jake Paulers and Mavericks and 45-year-olds that are actually my real demographic? Also, a side note, Mavericks, that's Logan Paul's fan base. Maybe I'm old, but it reminds me of John McCain. John McCain used to always call himself a Maverick during the 2008 campaign. Every time he says Maverick, I think John McCain. But I guess the people watching Logan Paul don't realize that. Anyway, Logan and Jake have a new channel together that has flown completely under the radar. They have 4 videos out so far, and I've done the great, angelic service of watching it, so you guys don't have to, and I can tell you what you missed and if they said anything important. The basic premise seems to be them sitting in chairs behind basically a white wall like this, and they talk about the subjects of their week, or whatever drama happens to be. So they talk about like the Tfue FaZe Clan contract controversy in one video. They talk about Cody Ko in another video. It seems interesting because Jake Paul actually comes out on the side of the FaZe Clan. He does some math in one of his videos where he talks about how the contracts actually turns out to be a 50-50 split, which he feels is pretty fair in the industry. But I'm not quite sure, one, where he gets this 50-50 split idea, and 2, if that's actually indeed fair. Maybe in relationship to like music industries, they do a lot of 360 deals, it seems fair. But in terms of gaming contracts, I have no idea. But it's interesting to see Jake Paul talk about it. Granted, he had a lot of contracts. Maybe he did 360 contracts with Team 10. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if his Team 10 contracts were 360 deals, where like if you signed a contract with Team 10, we're going to take a little bit of your Instagram money, your Twitter money, your Snapchat money, your YouTube money, and whatever brand deals you do for the next 4 or 5 years, regardless if you're in the house or not. I bet you that's what it is, a kind of a talent, like we're going to bring you up and we're going to take a little bit of everything. And Jake Paul talks about how, oh yeah, in my experience, a lot of people pretend to be naive, when they first sign contracts, suddenly they blow up and then they're like, oh, I was forced into the contract. It's interesting to see where Jake Paul falls on that situation, perhaps just because he has personal experience or bias that puts him more in the camp, the FaZe Clan camp. Also, another interesting aspect is they talk about Steven Crowder. I don't know how this winds up in the conversation, but Logan Paul goes on record of basically calling Steven Crowder a bully and being on Carlos Mazza's side. It's very odd that for whatever reason, apparently Logan Paul follows the Steven Crowder controversy and finds Steven Crowder to be in the wrong. Although at the same time, they talk about how they DM'd Ben Shapiro and invited them to a Hollywood party, which is another interesting aspect, and that they throw these Hollywood parties and then DM not random people, but celebrities they do not know on Instagram to try to invite them to come. Which, on a side note, that's a very interesting strategy, in that like if you get to a certain level of fame, the logical way to propel yourself around networking people that are more famous than you or more powerful than you are to just invite them to throw parties and then invite people you don't know but would like to know. And I wonder how well that works, but it's an interesting networking strategy that they kind of implicitly reveal that they do. Jake Paul also talks about Cody Ko. One episode, they're sitting in these chairs, and it looks like Jake Paul has literally gotten back from when he did this video about Cody Ko and confronted Cody Ko. And Jake Paul's complaining about how the message, like, oh, people don't understand the message. It's anti-bullying. I just don't get it. And Logan Paul goes like, well, they just didn't think you were the right person to carry that message. You weren't the right pole bearer for that. And Jake Paul's defense is like, well, what? People in jail, coming out of jail, can't do good things later? Which, okay, fair enough. Yes, they can, but I think you're missing the message. It's not as if somebody's saying like, oh, you did something wrong in the past, Jake Paul, but now you're angelic, and now it makes sense that you're on this, moralistic quest. One, your video doesn't seem very moralistic. It just seemed like you came up with an idea last minute because you wanted to make some clickbait controversy channel. And 2, in order for them to like buy your message of anti-bullying, you have to have stopped doing it in the past. There has to be a narrative redemptive arc there. And I think people pointed out very rightfully so that you continue to bully people on the internet to this day. And Logan and Jake Paul go back and forth on it. Either way, I'm not entirely sure the point of this channel. Maybe they're trying to cash in on the brothers, twins channel popularity that's really popular on YouTube right now. I said popular like 4 times in that sentence. That's really popular right now. The Dolan twins. Although the Dolan twins seem to go actually out and do things, whereas it's literally just Jake and Logan sitting on chairs behind a wall and looking at their iPhone like, oh, I got some notes for this. I got some notes. I don't know if it's a podcast, eventually going to be a podcast or what, but it's very odd and very interesting. I don't know why nobody else has picked up on this or media outlets have picked up on this, but very odd, very odd. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe. We'll be back to more regular journalism videos tomorrow. Bye.